just introduce ourselves before we start. What's your name?
My name is
Vivek?
Karkera.
Karkera. Acha. You are? Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Ah, right. What about you, sir? You are?
Cost account.
Cost account. Anyway, all of you are welcome. Yeah? So maybe, we'll have an interactive session. Anything you want to ask about or something, please feel free, okay? Alright. So today we have mantra for women's health and happiness. Health, happiness. Today being Women's Day, the accent is on women, but as you guys can also take it as the same philosophy applies to guys also to a large extent, yes? Alright. A big day for women, but at the same time, why one special day for women? We can celebrate womenhood all 365 days of the year, right? We don't need a special din for celebration or something. But at the same time, I think it still confirms, focuses our attention on certain aspects, certain topics, certain things which need to be done. Today, if we look at it in a place like India for the matter, I think women have come a long way, haven't we? Yeah?
Still a long way to go.
Yeah.
A longer way.
A long way to go, yeah. But when you look at, why did Women's Day come about? Because people were fighting for equality. In the West, it was a totally different concept. They did not have rights. Women were not allowed to vote. So they actually fought for it. By the time, we got our independence, everything, things had already happened to a large extent. And a lot of our women, anyway, were not really tied down. Like we had a prime minister, one of the first prime ministers after Golda Meir, to become a female prime minister of the country. Even today, the president of the country is a female. Sonia Gandhi has been ruling the roost for a long time. We have people in the banking sector. The people in every sector, whether it is Kiran Bedi as a police officer or whatever, there have been women all over. So we don't really need a special thing, at least for women in the urban areas. But for every woman who's come a long way, there are so many of our sisters who are still living a miserable life, right? So much of atrocities, so many things happening in the, like you said, we have a long way to go. And maybe therefore this day makes a lot of difference, na? Fark pad jata hai, na? We can look objectively at the various issues which need to be done, and therefore maybe we can also celebrate, we can also look into it and see maybe what is it that we can personally do that would wrought a change in whatever. Are we really, would you say, are we equal? In terms of, when you say Women's Day, क्या देखते हैं हम, क्या सोचते हैं? What is it that we're looking for? We're looking for maybe equality? That's what the fight has always been about, right? Would you say we are equal? Urban areas may at least? Come on, tell me what you think. Do you feel?
I think, for us, we have more than our share of equality. In fact, it's the men who feel threatened.
Do you agree?
Because nowadays women are ruling the house. Not the men.
Ruling the house, yeah, that's true.
Ruling the house, there's my friend says that, he says, I have permission, I can say whatever I want, provided my wife gives me the permission to say it, things like that. Or another one says, then I wear the pants in my house under my apron. So, there's so many ways.
Like I'd just gone for a holiday with a friend of mine. Her husband is a captain on a ship. So she says, my husband is a captain, but I'm the admiral at home. That sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
No matter how, I think behind every man there is a woman. I don't think men.
Absolutely, you've said it. Yeah, you've said it correctly. So,
But apart from that, talking about equality, it is more about those who are born in circumstances where females are not welcome. They are the ones who really suffer.
correct.
And it starts at that stage, in infancy, in birth, infant mortality is very high, the ratio of girls and boys.
Absolutely.
At that that level, it's different.
Yeah, absolutely right. For every woman who has done well, we've been pulled down because we have so many people living in the villages, living at the poverty level. India is a funny country. When you look at the urban people like us, you wonder whether we're living in the 20th century, 21st century sometimes. Things that happen in the Western world come to Bombay very fast. So we might be living anywhere. I mean, I don't think life in Bombay is very different from life in New York or London. But at the same time, there are many places all over the country where you wonder whether they're still living in the 12th or the 13th century. Where the households are still ruled with an iron hand. And unfortunately for us, a lot of this is serialized and shown on television even today. I remember so what happens is superstitions still rule. We still have a lot of people who believe in a totally different way of life where women do not have any place in the scheme of things. The decision making is done by the so-called the male, whoever rules the roost in their family. It's a very dominant culture. Now, compared to that, people like us who live in Bombay, we don't even know how the other half of India lives. It's only when somebody like Phulan Devi, we see a movie like that, or you hear about her, or Bhavar Devi, or somebody like that, people who've been gang raped and the whole village, does nothing about it, and eventually they have to rise against it by taking a gun and shooting people and killing people and, creating mayhem that the society takes notice. Now, we all saw Phulan Devi in a movie for the matter, right? But in real life, when she came to court and all, I remember reading about her, she would be very ordinarily dressed. Once they called her to give a talk in a girls' college. Now this woman, they glorify people in movies and they dress them up and all. So when she actually went to the college, she was a woman dressed in some very simple, ordinary sari, a mismatching blouse. And not very many people, not many of the girls were very interested in really, listening to her, though they'd asked to hear her. But this woman was a person who could cut across all that. She knew she was sitting in this place where, I was reading the papers the other day, where she was sitting in this auditorium of a women's college, and she realized all these English-speaking women, and she spoke a kind of a Gamda kind of Hindi, some Gaon ka Hindi, not even Shuddh Hindi, which half of them would understand. But she could cut across all this, and she said, they've invited me here to listen to me. And she came up and they want to listen to what her original stuff was all about, what she was there to talk. And once she started talking, a lot of people came, and more, the whole auditorium had been empty. And soon the word spread that she's good. And then there was no place, not even an inch to spare. It was absolutely full to the brim, This was late at night, at 9:30 at night when they'd started this talk. So at the end of the day, what happens is sometimes, we look at people, we value them from, whatever their looks, their whatever. But sometimes it's not that. There are so many aspects to a person like that. Now, she came from a very deprived background. She rose with a gun in hand. Again, in court also she showed the same attitude, where a lot of lawyers, international lawyers and people standing in front of her. She wasn't impressed by any of that. She could just cut across and get to the matter. So sometimes what happens is people come from deprived backgrounds and they make it a point to make their own lives. On the other hand, people like us, we've lived a good life, we've got equal treatment more or less, but even in the cities, is it really about equality? Even today, we have to ask ourselves, when will you say that we are equal? When is it that feminism, or what everybody's been fighting for is true? When a middle class woman, does not discriminate between a son and a daughter. Even today, very often in certain families, a daughter is born, is it something to be happy about? A lot of families I know, they're very happy with one child, one daughter, and they want no more. But not everybody. Even today you find somebody has four daughters and 5 daughters, they're waiting for a son. Even today they do all those tests and which are not allowed, it goes against the law. But things, have they really changed all that much? I don't know.
No, they will change.
It's superficial.
It will change only when the law allows equal grounds and equal rights to women. You see, then only. For example, now a woman is seen as a liability. She can't partake in property rights, the family.
Yes, correct.
Then it's a liability because, then she has to get married again. There's a dowry issue and stuff like that. So no matter how much you spend on her, it's going to go, the other family is going to benefit. So it's a liability for the parents. So unless that changes, this girl is not a liability to them asset. She's our daughter. So remain our daughter even after.
So until we stop giving a dowry, until we stop doing all that kind of stuff,
Educate the girl, realize you need to have a
So what do we, correct. So now it's for us women, to a large extent, and men also, who need to think. We need to educate our daughters as much, and it's especially more of a woman's role, Because a woman today has become more than just a housewife. Very often she is also a bread earner. Like they say, kande se kanda milake, she is fighting on the, on the battlefield of business or in whatever. But, no. I'll tell you what. It doesn't have to be versus, but even today, correct, but even today to a large extent what happens, a woman is doing both. She's multitasking, looking after the household as well as, very often she's in business or she's an entrepreneur or whatever. Now, as a multitasker, what does she need to do? She needs to look after both sides. It is a very fine balance that she has to maintain. She walks the tightrope every morning, every day. I mean, it falls to her lot to see both ends. So whether getting up in the morning at 5 o'clock, preparing breakfast, getting the children ready to school and so on and so forth, goes to work, pressures of work. And the worst thing in Bombay, commuting to and fro is terrible, isn't it? You come from Thane, so you can tell us. Train travel, go back home, really tired and fatigued. And again at the end of the day, it's not so bad in other cities, but in Bombay it's bad. At the end of the day,
in Bangalore there's no metro, there's no railway line, the buses, the public transport, even private.
That's tough.
You barely move your car. And when you have to look 360 degrees.
Correct.
Because you have your autos, you have a school kid just running across.
You're right. And again after she comes back, she has to see to the dinner and she has to maybe look at the kids and it goes on. For a husband maybe it's not so bad. It's a little lighter than that. The workload may be a little simpler. So women basically, you don't agree?
It may not be lighter. It may look like that to us because he's not juggling two roles.
Exactly. So that is where the thing comes in. She's trying to do both things. At the end of the day, at least in Bombay, if you look at the middle class, they're all working. And they're all housewives at the same time, and they don't really have a lot of people at home to look after the kids. So it is a tough job, and even at workplace, sometimes, as you rightly said, there may not be discrimination because she's a woman, but because she's juggling so many things, she herself would find it difficult taking on more responsibilities at the workplace, right? So we have to look into this. How do we help a woman and how do we go about it? So look, at the end of the day, if a female is fatigued, what happens? The next morning she's up again, she's again working, and all this leads to problems with health. Stress levels go up. See, in a place like Bombay, stress levels of even small children are quite high. When you think of a kindergarten kid getting into a school, it's tough enough. But for a woman trying to juggle things like that, it's definitely tough, So, health is something that we need to look at. Health and happiness are two topics that we're going to talk about in relation to women. Health. What do we mean by health? In today's terms, the definition of health is health not only physical, but also mental, emotional, spiritual, everything. Because today we look at a human being as a holistic person, right? So whether it's a man or a woman, healthy person means you have to be healthy, mind, body and soul. And that can only be possible if You lead a balanced, harmonious